There we go. I think we're recording now. Take two. Welcome back to the Lift Your Life podcast. I hope everyone is doing great. And I do believe when this is out, this will be the first podcast of 2023, which is mega, mega, mega exciting. And it's mad that we're in the new year already. With it being new year, a lot of you guys, a lot of people will be embarking on fat loss related goals to lose weight successfully in the new year, which is great, good on you. So there's two things that cross my mind when it comes to new year. The first one is that I want people to succeed for the long haul. I don't want people to start a diet in the new year and then within a few weeks and months finish it because they haven't got the foundations there for success, which is why next week we're running our free fat loss workshop. That's the word we want to use, the 5-day workshop. I should know what it is. I've been doing all the work behind the scenes stuff on it today. That's over in Facebook. So if you want more details on that, I did talk about it in a previous episode, so go listen to that and I'll leave all the details below. But the other thing is that I don't want people to be pulled in by these marketing ploys that everyone just throws their fitness, fat loss marketing out there in January because people are receptive to it. People want to make a change. It's like on Black Friday, everyone throws out sales and deals because they know people are going to buy because people are in the buying mindset. In the new year, people are in the transformational mindset of I want to lose weight. I want to better my health. I'm going to do it this year. And people throw their fads and stupid things and it hooks people in. So in this episode, I basically want to help you guys out with not falling victim to some of these things and the things that you need to avoid and little red flags to look for in people's and companies and businesses marketing, that if you see it, I want you to avoid it like the plague. But I'm not doing this podcast on my own. I brought a repeat guest. You're a repeat guest already. You've made it to the podcast. One of my amazing clients, Karen. And the reason that I brought Karen on is that she won't mind me saying this. She has been in that position. She has fallen victim to this marketing, done some diets, done certain regimes that have made her feel that she couldn't do it because she was stuck in this perpetual cycle of starting and stopping. So I wanted to bring someone who's been there, who knows what things to avoid because she's been there, done that. She's done it all for you guys. She's sacrificed herself so you guys don't have to do it. So Karen, first and foremost, just a quick introduction. I know we've talked before the podcast started, but just for the podcast means, how are you? How's your day been? How's your week been? How's your Christmas been?
It's like limbo week between Christmas and New Year, the week where you don't know what day it is. You don't know what to do, what to eat. It's just like Christmas leftovers are like everywhere.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
It's a lethal week this week.
It is. And I personally don't have this challenge because I went to my parents and my family for Christmas. So all the Christmas food and festivities are over there. I didn't have any of that in my flat. So for me, it's just kind of like a normal week. The only difference is that it's really, really quiet. Like no one's communicating, no one's talking. Everyone's just out living their best lives this week. So I'm in this really weird, I'm trying to get work done, but I've got no work to do because you guys are all just ignoring me. No, you're not ignoring me. You're all just having a really lovely bit of time off before we crack on in the new year. Would you have a good Christmas?
I did, but I'm glad to be back in the routine now because I'm sick of beige foods like sausage rolls and Scotch eggs and cakes and roast potatoes. I'm sick and sight of it all now.
Like a bit of colour. And this is the thing about Christmas. And this is what I said to every one of my clients was that enjoying Christmas is part of the plan because when you take that little step back and enjoy a few beige days and days off tracking, you want to get back to routine even more. It just motivates you even more to get back to doing it and pulls you out of that rut. So enough about Christmas because it's the new year now. So, well, it will be when this podcast is out. Let's talk about diet mistakes to avoid, things to avoid in the new year. So I want to basically ask you about your experiences and the things that you've done and the things to avoid and why. I've got a few ideas of things that people have come to me from past diet experiences and things that I know are red flags, but I want to start with you. So let's start with the biggest one. What is the biggest diet fad regime thing in the new year that you believe from your own personal experience people should avoid and why?
Dieting clubs. It's in every magazine bloody possible in the new year. You see it everywhere, like free joining, week free. You get leaflets posted through your doors by the consultants that go around with little bags of leaflets, and it's just everywhere.
Yes, it is. I agree.
And half the time they haven't got a bloody clue about nutrition.
I'd say more than half the time personally.
Yeah, they know nothing about it.
This is the thing as well. Because they are such big corporations and companies, so we're not going to name names, but we are. they have so much money behind their marketing that they can literally get everywhere. They can get through your letterboxes, they say in magazines, on your TVs,
emails, search engines,
emails,
everything.
Facebook adverts, Instagram adverts, they're going to be everywhere. And the more you see something, the more likely you are to buy it. There's like things in marketing that you have to have so many touch points before you consider buying something. And if you just see something again and again and again, you're going to pay interest to it, especially when they do have these big claims of, lose weight for life and it's super easy and it's really, really cheap. It's like, well, on the surface, that sounds ideal, doesn't it? It's cheap, it's easy, it's going to change your life. Why would you not? Now I'm going to pass that over to you, Karen. Why would you not
then? I've joined said diet clubs, not naming names, I must at least 20 times. Every new year I used to start the same diet club. Like, I will stick to it this time. I just couldn't stick to it. But it's because it's popular. You see it all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. You think, I'm going to do that. All these people are losing weight. I can lose weight just like that. But you never can. It doesn't work.
So why don't they work? What are the biggest issues with these diet clubs? Like, why is it
they're not sustainable? It's just a quick fix. Yeah, you're going to lose weight, but you can't eat like that for the rest of your life. You just can't do it.
Yeah. So what were the biggest issues you found with them then? So for someone who was maybe like, well, okay, maybe it's a quick fix, but maybe I just want to lose some weight. Why would you tell someone, no, don't go down that route? What is it going to do for them? How is it going to make them feel? What are the repercussions? It's cheap, it's doable. Why not then? Why not?
For me, it was like a mental thing, because they say like food's a sin. It's a bad thing. It makes you think of certain food groups as bad. Like chocolate, you shouldn't eat chocolate. It's a sin. It's a bad food. Well, it's not. You can eat it in moderation and still lose weight, but they put everything as a sin. It's bad. It's evil. Shouldn't eat that.
It's feeding into negative food relationships.
Yeah.
But if you don't realize it at the time, later on in life, you will have that. When you eat certain foods, you have those.
Yeah, it makes you feel bad.
Exactly.
You shouldn't feel bad about eating food. You need food to live, to like power your body and things. You should not feel bad about eating your favorite food. Absolutely
not. And the issue when you do have those good and bad food mentalities is that when you do have the said bad food, two things can happen. One is that you can feel terrible about yourself and all these negative emotions, and you can try and compensate by then not eating the next day. Or
that's what I used to do. I used to think, I've had like Kit Kat, I've gone over my sins for the day, I'll just won't have any whatever tomorrow and I'll just cut back tomorrow. But then you starve the next day.
And then it's a perpetual cycle. Or you can do try and overcompensate with like exercise, which again is a real headspace to be in. Or the other thing can happen is that I've gone over this rule, I've eaten a bad food, I have ruined it. I may as well just eat everything in sight because it's game over, because I've already ruined it. And both things can lead to either dieting failure or just a negative food relationship, or both. So I 100% am with you. And that I would 100% avoid diet clubs going into the new year. Now, there are positives from diet clubs, and there are certain things that I think if you can get involved in within the new year will be massively helpful. And I'd say many things, is one thing really, and that's community. I do the community and accountability side of it is fantastic, because accountability keeps you going when motivation drops, and so does community. Having people that you can speak to on a similar journey and path is very powerful. But I wouldn't do it through a slimming club.
No.
You can find a Facebook community, see if you can do it with some friends. If you work with a personal trainer and online coach, if you sign up to them, they should have some sort of client community to be involved in. That's the route I would go down. But anything as well where the focus is purely on scale weight as well is going to be toxic AF. So again, that's something to look out for. If it's very much hammering about purely scale weight numbers of lose this amount of pounds, lose this, it's always going to be a false promise as well, because there is absolutely no way that you can guarantee you are going to lose X amount of weight in X amount of time. No,
it's like if you gained a pound, they go, oh, we had a bad week, have we? What have you done? And you're like, you go in feeling absolute shit.
Yeah.
They'll put like a little plus sign and like whatever you gained in your little book. And you go home and like have to look at that in your book and you think, oh my God,
I'm a failure.
Yeah, you feel really bad. Then obviously like they have like the little sit in a circle talk kind of thing, which is good because you get to talk to other people about stuff. But they'll go, oh, right, Karen's had a gain this week. What have we done different this week? What can we do to sort that out for next week? And you feel really shit in front of everyone.
You're embarrassed almost.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. So anything like that, anything where there's purely focused on scale weight and false promises of scale weight, because if someone signs up with me and they want to lose X amount of weight in X amount of time, I can say we can work towards that, but I can't guarantee it. The reason we can't guarantee it, unless we chop off your leg or something, is that there's so many things that can impact it.
Yeah.
So many things that influence your weight week to week, day to day. And unfortunately, there is no 100% guarantee. You can put the odds of that happening and you can put yourself into the deficit and know that you are losing body fat over time, but you can't be 100% certain that you lose X amount of weight next time. So if you see anything like that as well, where it's like, we promise you we'll help you lose this amount of weight, this many dress sizes in this amount of weeks, run a mile, because it's BS. And the reality is, if they are promising that, the only way that they're going to guarantee that is by doing something pretty extreme.
Really stupid.
Yeah. And again, that's the thing. If you can do it for a few weeks, it's not sustainable. So again, anything where it is this quick fix, this rapid approach. So I always look out for words like rapid, super fast, shred, just these words where it's all about how fast you can do it. If you are wanting long-term success with fat loss, anything like that, as desirable as it is, because everyone wants the quick, everyone wants
that's what draws people in though, isn't it? The words like fast, rapid. They see that and think, I'm signing up with that.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest things anyone can take away from this podcast is, when you are looking to start something in the new year, is to actually think about what it is you want. Do you want the quickest result possible, which is never, ever going to be sustainable, and you're going to get feeling less than lost afterwards? Or do you want long-term success? Now, long-term success, creating habit change, behavior change, it's very hard to market that without it sounding boring and dull and long. It really is. But that's what you want. So just think, when you are looking to sign up to something, is this actually what I want? Or is it what I'm just attracted to because it seems like the easiest and quickest thing? But is that what's going to get you from A to B? So always just have a moment of reflection when doing that. Other things then, Karen, what other things have you tried in your lifetime, not necessarily in January, but ever, that you would tell people to completely avoid?
I've tried these skinny teas, these like slimming diet teas, which taste like absolute vomit. They taste awful. They've got like cayenne pepper and all something to make you like something to do with burning the fat off, like, I don't know, but it's horrible. It doesn't work. Makes you feel vital as well.
Yeah. And again, this is reasons those like quick fixes and fads.
Yeah.
And people like the idea of convenience and ease, don't we? We love just things being done for us. So if you can just buy something that is going to basically, it's not very hard, is it, to drink a tea or take a pill, or it's not right hard. So if all you have to do is that, well, again, that's going to seem desirable. But guys, just think like an adult and think logically, right? You have to be in a calorie deficit, an energy deficit, in order to lose weight. Is a tea, a tablet, gonna change that? No,
definitely not.
And if it could, do you not think that we'd just be dishing them out left, right, and center? If they could, I wouldn't have a job, because there will be no need for me.
A lot of them as well are actually endorsed by like celebrities.
Yeah.
A lot of things. It's like, like Charlotte Crosby's lost so much drinking our tea. You think, a celeb's drinking it, and they look brilliant. Yeah.
So it's like with like L'Oreal shampoo and stuff. You see those cheap shampoo companies and like Cheryl Cole. It's like Cheryl Cole does not use that. Like, let's be real, she doesn't. So just be mindful of that as well. Just think, did they really use that, or how much money was slid into their pocket to endorse it? Because people, the money in endorsing these things is crazy. Like, you think you wouldn't do it, but people, some of the money that is on
the right amount of money, you'll do anything. You'll be like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. And in your head, you probably think it's a load of shit, but they're paying me, so
Exactly. So just be mindful of celebrity endorsements and that's not just with products as well, that's with companies as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure was it Alexandra Burke? I think she was endorsing
Slim Fast.
Yeah.
Slim Fast. I saw the adverts all over TV for that. Kelly Brook does that as well.
I used to love Alexandra Burke. When I saw her do that, I lost all respect. I was like, girl, no,
because I've tried Slim Fast, and honest God, they're awful. How the hell you class that as a meal is beyond me.
I've done that one as well. So again, meal replacement ideas. All they do is basically put you into an extreme deficit. I think it with Slim Fast, was it about just over 1,000 calories?
Yeah, but you're starving. Your lunch is like a cereal bar or a milkshake. It's not even a full cupful.
No, it's not. So the meal replacements are not enjoyable. It is literal torture because there's no satiety in that as well. And as well, thinking about from a health perspective, they say they put the nutrients in. Well, you're not getting your full nutrient spectrum. I'm sorry.
No.
If you had a salad compared to a processed milkshake, like, come on. And as well, if your goal is long-term success with fat loss, you
can't live like that. It's not possible.
You can't live like that. Nice. It teaches you naffle. As soon as you finish that, you're back at square one. And as well, because you are so hungry and so deprived, like anything where you are literally following like a set, like a really restricted meal plan or restricted items, the second that you finish, you are going to go in and 10,000 calorie challenge the hell out of your days because you are going to be so
you're ravenous.
And just so food focused and deprived that you're gonna buy it all in and you're gonna eat it all and then you're gonna feel bad and end up at square one. So
yeah,
just don't go down that route. And plus they are quite expensive as well.
I've noticed as well now the supermarkets are starting to put all their like diet healthy stuff in. Slim Fast is one of them. They're starting to like put them like on like the special aisle, like the seasonal aisle. They're putting all the Slim Fast or like the low fat stuff and all in one aisle.
Yeah.
Obviously, New Year, everyone's gonna go straight for all that kind of thing.
Exactly. So it's just being aware of marketing, isn't it? It's just aware of that it is all just marketing. It is all just really makes me really angry.
Yeah.
If you hadn't gathered, it really does. Now, I think there's a time and a place for like a more rapid approach with dieting. And you'll know this yourself. When you've got a short-term goal of a holiday, a wedding, a photo shoot, it's okay to do things a little bit more drastic, a little bit more extreme because it's short. But for most people in the new year, what is a new year resolution about? What is a new year goal about? It's about that I want to make a change. I want to do this for the long term and the long haul. And if you are doing something that is not an actual behavior change, it's just that I'm following an X approach to get a quick X result, that's not actually seeing that. And that's where people fall into this trap because you go for that desirable quick thing, give up, fall off the bandwagon with it because it's unsustainable. And then the year's gone and you do it again. So I know what my advice is because I do this for a living. I give people advice all the time. But for someone who's been there, like you said, you've signed up to X diet clubs for countless years and years and years on end. For people going into the new year, few bits of advice, few tips. What would you actually suggest that people do this year instead? What not to do and what would you suggest they do? Because they're probably listening to this now thinking I'm a bit lost. So you told me not what to do, but what do I do? What do I do instead?
Don't fall for every gimmick. Just because a celebrity does it does not mean it works.
No.
If you're gonna go like with a coach like yourself, research like what they do, because it's not all right getting like meal plans or just giving calories, but you've got to train your mind as well as training like your body to eat and things. So if your head's not in it, it's just not going to work. No. You need to like your mindset. They need to train your brain to believe in what you're doing, to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just what's the point? There's just no point whatsoever. If your head's not in it, then you're not going to succeed in anything.
No. And would you say as well with that people need to reframe their mindset from I'm just going on a diet in the new year to making a change in the new year?
Yeah, it's not just, I'm going to go on a diet. It's like, right, I want to change my lifestyle. I don't want like cardio or respiratory problems later on in life. I want to be able to run around with my kids and my grandkids, not just, I'm going to lose a few pounds to go on holiday.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to carry it on.
Absolutely. I think that is, again, where one of the big issues that people don't even realize is that short-term thinking of, I'm just going on a diet in the new year. It's like, great, but if you want long-term success, don't even see it. I don't even like the word diet. You
don't see it as a diet. You see it as your life, as your lifestyle.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm committing to myself. I'm committing to long-standing stuff change. I'm committing to behavior change. And it doesn't sound as sexy. It doesn't sound as glamorous. But when you actually remind yourself that that's what you're committing to and that's what you're doing, you're creating that long-term mindset and that long-term thinking. And even just going in with that approach can make a world of difference. And that will change what you are receptive to, because when you're I'm committing to change my actions and behaviors for the long haul. When you see a stupid diet milkshake or diet tea, you can look at that and go, that don't align with what I want to do, that can stay on the shelf. I'm going to save my money. Thank you very much.
It's like losing like up to 10% of your body weight. 10% loss, so it's not weight, fat, 10% fat loss can reduce like your chance of getting cardiovascular disease by up to 20%. So why would you not want to have a lifestyle like that? Because you live longer for your family and for yourself.
Yeah, I think we lose these values with societies because of the pressures of, you know, aesthetics and how you look, and everything is on social media, and, you know, your body image is presented on there. That is kind of seen as like the number one thing that people focus on. But what you've said there is so true, and it's sad that it's not until later on in life that, when it kind of becomes too late, or we start to see these issues persist, you know, creeping in, you know, through health implications and going to the doctors and having, you know, blood tests and results that you don't want to hear, that you actually think, oh shit, I need to do something. Whereas most people listening to this now are probably in a position where they're young enough to really make a difference now and set yourself up for long-standing health success, because you can't put a price on your health, unfortunately. Once you lose it, that's it. You've got to deal with that for the rest of your life. But
it's like in the job that I'm in, obviously I'm a pharmacy technician, the amount of people I see, and they get younger and younger, that are taking like blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. And it's like, wow, this guy's 38 and he's on cholesterol meds and BP meds.
Yeah.
You should not be on statins and blood pressure medication at 38 years old.
No.
You should be at least in your like late 50s, early 60s for you to start thinking about being able to put on stuff like that.
Yeah. So would you say as well, when people are making these promises and commitments to themselves, that they need to think beyond just clothes sizes and aesthetics?
What you look like. Yeah, you think about your internal body, not just what you look like from the outside. You've got your organs to think of.
Yeah. And do you think that as well comes down along with this lifestyle change of, you need to actually change, not just eat less, but what you movement as well, and commit to those? Because you don't get this with a lot of diet clubs and a lot of products, do you? It's just follow this. And there's no emphasis on movement, is there?
No, you need to be. It's like when I was at this like certain swimming club, I got told not to do too much exercise.
Oh my god!
Because I put weight on.
What?
And I was thinking, this makes no sense whatsoever.
That is.
You always get told exercise, like 36 minutes exercise a day is good for you, and they were saying, oh no, you shouldn't be going to the gym for an hour a day.
Oh Jesus!
It's like, why? It's good for your heart and like your lungs. Like, you just walking or swimming or anything is good for that cardiovascular and stuff, just to get your lungs going, your blood pumping.
And tell me the science of how putting yourself into more of an energy deficit will create a surplus. Tell me how that happens.
Well, obviously you're moving more because you're burning more than what you're actually eating. You're eating.
Exactly.
Like I'm on what? 1,680 calories. That's loads to me now. But I'm burning like double amount of that.
But if we were doing any more exercise, Karen, you just gain weight, which is why we're only doing this amount of exercise, right?
Yeah, but not start walking anymore. Do more steps.
Keep those steps. Keep those steps capped. If you start doing any more steps, that's it. You're gonna balloon. Obviously.
It's like I couldn't imagine not going to the gym now.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine not doing it. It's not just like, I used to hate going to the gym. I used to go, God, I went to the gym. But now it's like, if I don't go to the gym, it's like, it's a bit crap. It's just a routine now.
Absolutely. What else then? What other things do you think people should focus on, or things people shouldn't do from like a mindset perspective, the way they go about things? Is there anything else that you've done that you feel?
Don't think you have to cut out carbs. I see every bloody new year. It drives me insane. My friends go, oh, I'm not having that. I'm not eating carbs because you put weight on with carbs. I'm like, no, you don't. You
put weight on with excessive calories.
Yeah, you need carbs.
You do, and it's just the nature of the beast. If you think about the modern diet, the modern day and age diet of what people typically eat on a day, so like an average person, if you think about it, they might have like some toast or like some cereal,
pasta or something for lunch, or
or a sandwich or something, and then maybe like a pizza or pasta or something with rice for dinner. If you cut out carbs, if you just think about that typical day of what I've just told you there, that's like cutting out like 70% of the diet.
Yeah.
Therefore, you are going to lose weight.
Stupid. It's just stupid.
You can't sustain that. Like, if that's the way of eating, it's just, there is no need to cut out any. And that's another thing that I was going to say, is to stop trying to be so hardcore, because no one gives a fuck, right? No one going to give you a medal for like, oh, you dieted the hardest, congratulations to you. No one gives a shit. Why would you make life harder for yourself than you need to? Why would you go down a route of depriving yourself of things that you enjoy, things that make you feel good, things that give you energy, just because it's like, I can diet so super hard, mate. Well, guess what? I can diet eating all the foods that I love and not feel like shit, and I can still lose weight. Who's the winner? I'm gonna say the second person.
One diet that I did try a few years ago in January was the Special K diet.
Oh, freaking
Kellogg Special. Oh, is it like 2 portions Special K and like a balanced meal in the evening? Yeah, that's it.
That's healthy and that's good for you, and that's not restrictable.
And it was like it was advertised, like proper advertisements on TV and everything.
Well, this is the problem, and this is what makes me angry. This podcast is only going to reach like a handful of people. The message from me and people like myself is only going to reach a handful of people because we're small. We don't have the money to do mass media marketing, and these big companies and corporations do. They can get everywhere. So if anyone can listen to this podcast, anyone can take anything from it, that's my job well done, and that's why I post what I do, because I want to just help as many people not fall into these traps, because you just get stuck and it's frustrating. Whereas if you do it right, you can do it once and be set up for long-term success.
Definitely.
Mic drop. But yeah, I think that is everything covered, unless there's anything else you feel massively important that we've not discussed that you think people need to know.
One thing, don't feel you have to restrict yourself with food.
Yes.
Because a lot of people they'll go, oh, I'm not having lunch today, I'm dieting. They'll just have a piece of toast and they'll do evening meal and they'll think, oh, that's it. But no,
skipping meals is one of the worst things you can do, honestly.
It's dangerous. It ends up like eating disorder type behavior.
It does. And also what can happen as well is when you skip meals, your blood sugars are massively low. And when your blood sugars are massively low, one, you're going to feel like shit. But more as well, that when you're in that state, you want quick energy. So when you are that hungry, you start to think about food. The reality is you're not then going to go and make a salad or some chicken, salmon.
No, you're going to eat shit.
You're going to be on speed dial to Domino's for the extra large pizza because you're so hungry. And as well, you've got to, another thing when you are creating, I keep saying we're nearly done, but I've thought of another thought. When you think about this lifestyle change, when you can actually fuel and nourish your body, even when you are in a deficit, you're going to feel so much better day to day, your focus, your energy. So when I was in uni, my first year of uni, I was in that cycle of I would literally eat nothing all day and then I would binge comfort eat at night. I guarantee if I had just fueled my body better and ate better in that first year, my grades, my focus and enjoyment for uni would have been so much better, because I was so tired all the time, because during the days I would eat like nothing. And it's like, that was just stupid. Whereas, I hated it. I hated my life. It was awful. Whereas if I'd have just eaten throughout the day, I'd probably have created a deficit because I wouldn't have overeaten on the evening. I'd have felt so much more energized, focused, productive. I still got good grades, but I could have got better grades. And that's the thing, if you're studying, you're in a job, think about your mental performance as well. Your body runs off calories as its energy fuel. You're not fueling it. What's it running off? Nothing. So how can you be a permanent
state of hungry?
Yes.
Like constant hunger.
And you don't realize how bad it is until you change that. So skipping meals, there's no benefits to it. There's nothing good I can say about it. Don't do it. You'll feel better for it. So just don't.
I just like food too much. I couldn't skip a meal. I just love food too much.
But here's the thing, this is why I wanted to bring Karen on. Here is evidence of someone who loves food. She enjoys food. We've created a diet for her that she absolutely loves. She's not like the word diet, but we've created a way of eating that she loves. She's consistently losing weight. She's strong. She's energized. She's powerful. She enjoys it. She can stick to it. It can be done. And that is why I wanted to bring her on as proof. It's all well and good me saying it. You do this for a living. You feel on coach. Karen's proof and it can be done. And I'm sure Karen would be happy if anyone has listened to this podcast and would like to reach out and ask some questions. I'm sure you'd be happy.
Definitely.
Slide in her DMs. She'll be happy to answer your questions. But I think we'll wrap this one up here. Thank you once again for being a repeat guest, Karen. It's always lovely.
Thank you.
And to everyone listening, I hope you've learned from this. I hope you don't now go down that route in January. You know what you should be doing. And like we just said, if you both want to ask either of us any questions going into the new year about things to do, things not to do, or just generally anything fat loss related, slide in either our DMs. I'll leave our Instagram handles in the show notes. And I'll catch up with you guys on next week's episode.